Hey Virgo, let's see what's going on in your love life. This is a tarot love reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and for any of you lovely cross watchers dealing with a Virgo romantically. Now, please keep in mind, Virgo, it is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate, and you're always welcome here to take what works and leave the rest. Just a quick reminder that if you would like to get a personal reading from me, I do offer those through Etsy, and the link is in the description box below the video. So let's jump right into it today, Virgo, and let's see what could be coming toward you in love. First message coming out today for Virgo says, I know that I crossed the line with you. Okay, somebody messed up, somebody crossed the line. We're gonna see where this goes. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Virgo right now. I wonder if you're happy without me. So what I think happened here is that your person crossed the line, and it definitely looks like this led to some sort of separation between the two of you. And now your person is thinking about you, Virgo, and wondering, are you happy? Do you miss me? Do you wish things could be different? Tell me more about what could be coming toward Virgo right now, please. Just being near you is intoxicating, okay? They're still kind of obsessed with you, right? I'm gonna say that there's probably a very strong chemistry and attraction between the two of you. I think the physical connection between the two of you is probably quite strong. There's a very strong magnetism and attraction here. But I also see a very challenging situation because obviously your person did something to mess up here. And it looks like the mess up was big enough that it has caused the two of you to no longer be together. But the issue here is that just because you might not be together, your person's obviously still thinking about you, wondering if you're happy, wondering what you're up to, and just thinking about how, attracted they are to you and how much they want to be with you. Now, I will put a little bit of a caution here because when I look at the energy just being near you is intoxicating, it makes me wonder a little bit, Virgo. Like, if you're not with this person, I do think they kind of want you back, to be honest. Like, they're thinking about you, they're wondering about you, they're wondering if things could work out. I wonder what their intention is because, like I said, I think there's probably a very strong physical connection between you and this person. So part of me is wondering, like, do they want to get back with you because the physical side of things was really good, or do they want to get back with you because there's more, because they see a future? So I'm just kind of picking up on something here about being mindful of this person's intentions if they are connecting with you, okay? I just wanted to throw that out there. We'll see how it plays out in the reading, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna look more at this person, I'm gonna look more at you, okay? So let's try to get to the bottom of what's happening here, Virgo. So I'm gonna look at their overall energy, what they could be feeling, what actions they could be taking right now. We're gonna look at the same thing for you, Virgo, and then we'll look at the potential outcome. So let's kind of dig into it. Tell me about this person who Virgo is involved with, please. First card coming out, the Knight of Wands. This has given me player vibes, okay? You could be dealing with a fire sign, a Leo, Aries, or a Sagittarius. I wonder if this is somebody who is very driven by their physical desires and chemistry, right? And I worry a little bit now because the first oracle message says, I know I crossed the line with you. This could have been flirting. This could have been cheating. Like, I think this was something related to like the physical side of things. Like, your person is very flirty. Your person, really likes to have intense chemistry. And I think that may have been how they crossed the line somewhere within that realm. And I do get a little bit of like a player type of vibe, especially with that Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands is definitely that energy of here for a good time, but not necessarily a long time, right? Let's keep going. Tell me more about this person's energy right now, please. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is an interesting energy to me. The Six of Pentacles is a card that can sometimes indicate somebody who's giving us breadcrumbs within a relationship. I think that's probably what happened here, Virgo. I think there's probably moments where things were really, hot and heavy and fun with this person, but then I also think there were times when they were really not giving you what you needed within the connection. So I think there was an issue here of a potential imbalance in terms of how each of you was giving to the relationship, and that may have been frustrating for you. Tell me more about this person's energy. Ten of Pentacles. I mean, Ten of Pentacles is typically a really nice card in a love reading. It tends to indicate setting down roots. So here's what I think is maybe going on for your person. I think in their heart, they're like, yes, I want to settle down. I want to commit. I want to be with somebody. But they also, what I'm getting in my head, Virgo, is they're having trouble taming their wild ways. I literally don't know, you guys. That's what's coming to mind. Having trouble taming their wild ways. It's like on the one hand, they're like, yes, I want to settle down. But then there's also this restless energy within them that are like, but I still need to sow my wild oats. I don't know why this shit is coming into my head, you guys, but that's kind of what's coming to mind here. So there could be a bit of a tension here where, you know, in your person's heart, maybe they're like, yeah, I do want to settle down. But then there is another part of them that's like, but am I ready? Do I still want to go out there? Do I still want to date? Do I still want to have fun? I think there's a disconnect here for your person, or it's kind of like these two sides of them are like at war. I do want to settle down with Virgo, but I also still want to go out and date a lot of people. I don't know. You guys can let me know if that connects with you. Let's see what they could be feeling. Let's take a look at that, Virgo. Six of Wands, okay? Six of Wands is a card of victory and success. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of an oblivious energy, like somebody who is in la la land, like, you know, everything's going to be fine. It's all going to work out. Tell me more about what this person could be feeling right now, please. Yeah, okay. I don't know, you guys. I'm getting a very unsettling energy from this person, okay? So the Six of Wands, like I said, is like, everything's good. Everything's going to be great. It's all going to work out perfectly. But then the next card that follows it is the Eight of Cups. And I'm like, so has this happened where one day your person is like, yes, we're going to have the Ten of Pentacles. We're going to settle down. We're going to be together. And then the next day they're turning their back on you and they're kind of walking away and they're doing things to create distance in the relationship. It's challenging. It's probably feeling like you're on a bit of a roller coaster here. Tell me more about what this person could be feeling, please. I don't like that. The Magician. I'm going to be clear, Virgo. I don't like this. I'll tell you why. A magician, let's just think about what a magician is generally. A magician is somebody who does tricks. A magician is somebody who presents illusions. I don't want to see this in somebody's feelings because it indicates there's something weird going on with their feelings. It kind of indicates to me that either, you know, like they're disconnected from their own feelings, right? Like maybe they're not even really being honest with themselves about what they want, and they might also not be honest with you about what they want. They might not even know what they want. Like, I'm not trying to suggest that they're being malicious here, Virgo, because I don't think they are. I just think this is maybe somebody who's a little bit lost and a bit uncertain about what they want. And that's not about you, that's about them. But it really does concern me to see the Magician in their feelings, because it's definitely giving me the vibe of maybe sometimes they tell you what you want to hear, but then they can't follow through on it. Maybe they don't even know what they want. Maybe they're lying to themselves about what they want. Maybe they're not being completely honest with you about what they want. Like, it's a very tricky energy, I think, to have in somebody's feelings, especially within the context of what we've been discussing within this reading. And I'm also getting a little bit of energy of them maybe trying to hide something here, not for all of you, but maybe for some of you. We know that this person crossed the line. Have they been hiding it? Have they been fully honest? I wonder if they kind of, what I'm getting here is confess to a half-truth. Okay, Virgo? So what I'm feeling is like they crossed the line, they know they did something wrong, and they tell you about it, but they don't tell you about all of it, you know? They kind of confess to like half of it, and they're like, okay, that's good enough. But they don't really give you the full picture. You might even be picking up on this, Virgo. You might even be feeling like there's more to the story than what this person has told you. Tell me what actions they could be taking right now. Queen of Pentacles, Earth energy. So maybe you're dealing with a fellow Earth sign of Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. They're definitely trying to create a sense of stability within the connection here. Tell me more about what actions this person could be taking. Wow, okay. King of Pentacles. I gotta say, Virgo, if you watch my channel regularly, usually I get really excited when I get the King and the Queen of one suit showing up together within a reading. Usually I get really excited, actually. I'm not gonna be that excited within this reading though, because there's some problematic stuff that we've been talking about. So let's talk about it. We've got this King and this Queen of Pentacles here showing up together. So there's like, I don't know, again, I'm getting this kind of illusion type of energy with the Magician where it's like, your person is trying to show you like, yes, we are this perfect couple. We're meant to be together because that King and that Queen go together, right? And everything's fine and everything's stable, but we know it's not. You know what I mean? So again, it's kind of like, are they lying to themselves about the reality of the situation? Are they not really being honest with themselves about what's going on here? And they're just kind of pretending everything's good, everything's stable. It kind of feels like a bit of a facade. Like they want to present to the outside world that everything is good between the two of you, but like it's really not. Let's get one more card about what actions this person could be taking, please. The Nine of Cups. This is a problematic energy to me, okay? Again, it's kind of interesting. Like I read tarot intuitively and I read it within the context of the overall energy, right? So again, normally the Nine of Cups could be a really nice card about wishes coming true and dreams being fulfilled, but sometimes it can represent being in a little bit of a fantasy land. And what I'm picking up on here is that your person maybe doesn't have a good sense of what it takes to really make a relationship work. And they're kind of living in this la-la land of like, you know, what a relationship looks like. And so they've created, in a way, this like fantasy of stability and love and this dream relationship. But at the same time, you know, crossing the line, you know, disconnecting, maybe being a little bit of a player, maybe keeping their options open, maybe being emotionally unavailable. Like there's some really challenging things here, but it almost feels like your person is a little bit oblivious to it, Virgo. Like they're not really connecting with the deeper feelings. They're like very surface level, you know? And again, I don't think this person is like necessarily trying to be malicious or anything. I feel like they're kind of disconnected from themselves. If I'm being quite honest here, it's like they're living in a little bit of a fantasy land, and that's not really reflecting the reality of the situation between the two of you. It's interesting, you guys. Let's look at you. So let's look at Virgo's energy right now, please. Empress, okay? I mean, some of you might have kids with this person, potentially. The other thing with the Empress energy, Virgo, sometimes it can indicate a bit of a problematic dynamic in our relationship because the Empress is a very like loving and mothering energy. And it kind of feels to me like maybe you're the one who has to be the mature person within this relationship, okay? And so you're the one, it's kind of like creating a parent-child dynamic between two people where you have to be the mature one, you have to take responsibility for things, and then your person is just like out there in that Knight of Wands energy, you know, all over the place and not really being sure what they want. Tell me more about Virgo's energy right now, please. The Ten of Wands, yeah, okay. So this indicates you feeling really stressed and weighed down, right? Ten of Wands tends to show up when there's emotional baggage within our relationship. So I think you're definitely feeling stressed out about the dynamic within this relationship. I think a lot probably gets put on your shoulders, Virgo, which kind of fits with what I said a moment ago where I'm like, you might be the one who's always responsible, taking care of things. And you're like, but where's the maturity coming from your person? And then here they are trying to present what I think is maybe the illusion of maturity, but I feel there's a disconnect here, right? So you might be saying to them, I need you to step up. And then they start doing things that give the appearance of stepping up and being more stable. I just wonder how long it might last. That's all I'm saying. Tell me more about Virgo's energy right now. Judgment. Yeah, good. So judgment is about acting in alignment with our higher purpose, okay? So I do think that the Judgment card is like, hey, Virgo, you know, look at this from the perspective of, do you think this is right for you? Do you think there's compatibility here? I think that's a good check-in. Now, I will say the Judgment card can also be an energy of forgiveness and second chances. And we talked about how some of you, you know, you could be separated from this person. You know, I think maybe you're considering whether or not you could give them another chance, because I do think their energy is coming towards you and they're trying to show you like, okay, yeah, I can be stable, I can be steady. So maybe you're thinking about it. Tell me what Virgo could be feeling, please. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay. I don't know, you guys. So the Wheel of Fortune is about getting lucky in love. It's a little bit of that element of destiny. I don't know. Again, something is just kind of sitting a little off. I'm just reflecting it back, Virgo. I'm going back to this energy where it says just being near you is intoxicating. So I'm going to go back to what I said at the very start of the reading where I'm like, there's probably a very strong physical attraction between the two of you, okay? What can sometimes happen, I think, is we almost get blinded to the issues in a relationship because the physical stuff is so hot, you know? Have you ever had this where it's like you've got insane chemistry with somebody, so you're like, okay, well, the chemistry is so good, the physical side of things is so good that you kind of don't really think too much about the other stuff going on in the relationship, right? And I'm kind of looking at both you and your person, and it almost feels there's a little bit of an element of fantasy that seems to be coming into play here, because the Wheel of Fortune is like, we're destined to be together, we're soulmates. And I feel like a lot of this kind of energy within the reading today is because there's this very strong physical attraction. So it's kind of making both of you feel like, well, because there's such a strong physical attraction, it's got to mean something. But sometimes that energy can also be toxic. So just something to think about, right? Take it or leave it, right? Tell me what Virgo could be feeling right now. The Chariot, okay. Chariot is about trying to find a way to move forward. Tell me more about what else Virgo could be feeling. King of Cups. I don't know. I'm also getting the message ignoring red flags, being blinded by our feelings. Yeah, like it's kind of interesting because intuitively there's just something in this reading that's a little off for me, right? Like some of these cards that we're getting are nice cards, but they don't seem to be sitting right for me within the context of the reading. Because remember, the very first message was, I know I crossed the line. And then the second oracle message was, I wonder if you're happy without me. And I'm like, okay, so some shit went down here, right? This is not like happily ever after. Like something has happened between the two of you. But then I also feel like there's this intoxicating chemistry between the two of you. And I guess what the tarot, I think, is encouraging you to look at is like the full picture, right? You know, at the end of the day, I don't know, let me know if you connect, but I think there's definitely been times where each of us have kind of been blinded by the chemistry. And then it was so intoxicating that we didn't really think about all the other aspects of what was happening. I feel a little bit of that going on here today for both you and your person, if I'm being honest, because it's like this King of Cups, you're like, oh, but I feel like I'm so in love with them because it's so intoxicating. I don't know, you guys. Let's see what actions you're taking, please. Ace of Swords. Well, it definitely looks like you're having some sort of breakthrough moment or some sort of epiphany, realizing the truth about something. Tell me more about what actions Virgo could be taking. Queen of Swords. Maybe you're going to start asking some hard questions. Maybe you're going to have this moment where, I'm going to say something else in a minute, sorry. Maybe you're going to have this moment where you're like, actually, I need to start understanding what's happening here, because so much of what we have seen has been driven by the passion and chemistry. And I feel like these two cards indicate that maybe you're starting to realize it has been all passion and chemistry, and you're like, you know, where's the logic? Where's the thinking through what's happening? What I got distracted by, Virgo, is I was looking at your person's energy. There's no swords energy that I pulled for your person. So there's nothing there about the communication aspect, right? It's very like there's fire energy, you know, there's them trying to prove that they're stable, but I'm like, where's the communication? Where's the two of you connecting and talking through the issues? And we didn't see any swords energy for you until we started to look at your actions. And then all of a sudden we're getting very strong swords energy. So like I said, the Ace of Swords kind of indicates having a wake-up call and being like, actually, I need to start asking some questions here to better understand the situation. I'm also getting the message coming out of the fog. I'm getting so many interesting messages in this reading today, Virgo. And like, we'll look at the outcome here in a moment, but I just think that maybe both of you have been a little bit blinded by the passion, and now it's time to start looking at the situation and being like, but what about the entirety of this relationship? And I think part of that is for you figuring out, like, what do I want? What do I need within a relationship, right? I think that's something that you're being encouraged to consider here. But I also think that these two cards are saying there needs to start being conversations that are happening, because it's been so much about maybe the physical intoxicating energy, but it's like maybe you guys got to start talking about what's actually going on to better understand where each of you stand within this situation. Interesting. Let's get one more card here for what actions Virgo could be taking, please. The High Priestess. Trust your gut. That's the message there. Trust your gut, right? You know, like I said before, I was a little bit nervous with that Magician energy showing up for your person. And I'm going to go back to what I said about potential half-truths being told, right? So, I mean, this could also indicate with the Ace of Swords that you're going to be getting the full truth about something. So if any half-truths have been told to you, maybe you're getting the full truth. And I think that the High Priestess is like, what is your gut telling you, right? If your person crossed the line, do you feel they're being honest, or do you feel they're holding back? Do you feel like they'll never do it again? Or do you feel like there's a risk they will do it again? Like, what does your gut tell you, right? Like, tap into your gut. And, you know, if you're thinking about giving this person another chance, how does that feel, right? Like, how does it feel in your gut? How does your intuition feel about that? Our intuition can give us a lot of really valuable wisdom about how we might want to move forward in a situation. And so I think the tarot is like, whatever you decide to do here, Virgo, with this person, ask the hard questions, see the truth of what's happening, and then tap into your intuition and ask yourself, does this feel right? Does this feel good? Does this feel like what I ultimately want? All right. So, moment of truth. Let's see what the potential outcome is here within this situation. I'm very curious, Virgo. What is the potential outcome here? Interesting. Is that not interesting, you guys? Okay. So the Six of Swords is about leaving something behind. Okay. So this is very fascinating to me. So there is kind of one of two ways this can play out, but it's kind of suggesting to me that things might not work out. You might come to the realization after asking those hard questions that maybe it's better to walk away, because that's what this card is, right? I mean, could it indicate kind of like a fresh start between the two of you? It could, but I don't know. I think you have to look at the potential issues here. Let's pull two more cards, you guys. Out of curiosity, give me two more cards for the potential outcome. No. Knight of Cups. Let's get one more. Oh, shit. Okay. Kind of annoyed that I pulled those, but also kind of not, because let's keep it real. Okay. So interesting, you guys. As I talked about, the Six of Swords could indicate you walking away. Guess what it's followed by? The Knight of Cups, which is like, I'm getting love bombing kind of energy, like somebody who's pulling you back in. You might try to walk away and say, no, it's over. And then they come back with all this big declaration of their love for you, Virgo, and how much they love you. And they're doing all these romantic things and giving you gifts and blah, blah, blah. The Knight of Cups, again, it depends on the context of the reading. In a really positive reading, this is a very nice card to me. In a very challenging reading where there's a bunch of issues, this is a problem, especially in a reading where I've been talking about illusions and fantasy and like not really, you know, being clear-headed about the situation. Let's just say that, Virgo. And so this to me is a really big problem, because it's like your person comes in and they're like all romantic to win you back. But look what follows that, you guys. It's a big mess, right? Look what follows. The Knight of Cups. It's like they come in, they try to win you back. But what is this? This is a card of drama, drama, drama. Issues, conflict, power struggles, third-party interference, you know? I'm sorry to say it, Virgo, but like I'm a little bit scandalized on your behalf. It's like maybe you're like, no, we're done. And then they come back, they like love bomb you, they want you back with that Knight of Cups. But then you find out they've been sleeping with everybody behind your back. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting here. Not to be super dramatic, but this is a very dramatic energy, which is why I think I'm picking up on this. And so I just think that there are deeper challenges within this connection that we're seeing reflected in the tarot. And I just think that at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you what to do, Virgo. You do you do what's right here. I think you're just being encouraged to maybe not get so swept up in the insane chemistry and ignore all of the other things that are going on. I think you're being encouraged very strongly with the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the High Priestess to really get to the truth of the matter and trust your intuition and then make a decision about what you want to do. Definitely an interesting reading today, you guys. Let me know how it sits with you. Does it resonate? Does it not? Because I just feel like I was picking up on a lot of interesting things and I'm kind of curious how it might connect for you. But I'm going to leave it there, you know, thumbs up, you know, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. The support really means a lot to me, you guys. I wish you love, I wish you happiness, and we'll talk soon. Bye.